This week I'm looking at a web series about the life of a pastor. Is it worth watching? Find out when I look at Leaving Eden on this week's Indy Christian Review. First off, I'd like to thank all my supporters on Patreon for making the show possible. If you'd like to help me find more Christian movies and shows that are worth watching, be sure to head on over to patreon.com/storyteller. When it comes to Christian TV, it seems like there's not much in the way of narrative shows. It seems like most Christian television is either going to be recorded sermons or talk shows. But that's actually been changing with the advent of the internet and the concept of web series. Narrative Christian web series are actually becoming more and more common. We're actually going to be looking at a couple throughout this season. So this week, we're looking at Leaving Eden. It's primarily about the life of Pastor Ben Nicholson, his family, and the new vicar, Lucas. Ben has been the pastor at Good Shepherd Lutheran Church for several years, and is what I like to call the battle-worn veteran pastor. He understands the nuances of church leadership and knows full well it's not the glamorous calling many think that it is. Contrast that with fresh out of seminary Lucas. Lucas is excited, idealistic, and more than a little harsh when it comes to enforcing proper doctrine and the way things ought to be. Early on, we get some insights into the home life of Pastor Ben as he struggles to balance work and family, all while maintaining the appearance of what people think a pastor's family should look like. The way pastors are usually portrayed in media tend to fall into a very narrow range of tropes. You've got the faithless hypocrite like in Simon Birch, you've got the lost his faith pastor like in Rust or WWJD, or you have the all-knowing mentor like in October Baby or Man of Steel. Whenever I see one of these trope pastors, it tells me that the writers don't know what it's really like to be in ministry. It's very seldom that we get a real look at the life of a pastor and the positive and negative impact life and ministry can have. It's not an easy job. Your pastor does not just work on Sundays. The only things I've seen that accurately portray the life of a pastor are 7 Deadly Words, which I reviewed last season, and Leaving Eden. If I were to compare the two, I would say that Leaving Eden is probably a bit more raw, rough even, but in a good way. The show is shot in such a way that really emphasizes the barely controlled chaos the life of a pastor often is. The acting is phenomenal, and there are so many awesome moments of insight I can't even begin to list all of my favorites. I love seeing the contrast between battle-worn Pastor Ben and idealistic Lucas. You can just tell that Lucas doesn't have a clue how to deal with people the right way because he's so focused on doing things the right way. And the behind-the-scenes interactions between Pastor Ben and his wife, especially in the second episode, are going to really hit close to home for a lot of pastors, I think. And the show isn't just one-off standalone episodes. There are running storylines with different members of the church and events that build off of one another. Season 1 is 10 episodes long, and there's actually a second season and a Christmas mini-series. I haven't had a chance to watch those two yet, but I definitely recommend Leaving Eden. It's available on Blip and YouTube at these links here. Go check it out. I highly recommend it. I'm the Storyteller. May God bless you, and may God bless independent Christian films and web series.